The cargo ship New Dawn moved slowly through the empty space between star systems. Captain Jake Morrison sat in his chair on the bridge and watched the stars pass by. The ship looked old and tired from the outside. Paint was peeling off its hull, and the engines made strange noises when they worked too hard. Anyone who saw it would think it was just another old cargo ship carrying supplies to faraway planets. Jake looked at his crew working around him. Lisa Barnes sat at the pilot controls, checking their course to the next system. Her hands moved over the buttons like she had done this job for many years. Pete Collins was down in the engine room, making sure everything worked properly. Amy Stone sat at the communications desk, listening to radio signals from other ships. Rick Harper stood near the back wall, watching the security screens. They all looked like normal cargo ship workers. They wore simple clothes and talked about normal things like food and weather. But Jake knew the truth about his crew. They were all trained soldiers. They had fought in many battles before this mission. The New Dawn was not really a cargo ship either. It was a military vessel disguised to look harmless. The ship carried medical supplies and food for colonies on distant planets. The cargo holds were full of boxes marked with red crosses and food company names. But hidden beneath the normal cargo were weapons and military equipment. The crew had spent months preparing for this mission. They were hunting pirates who had been attacking human ships in this part of space. Jake looked at the star map on his screen. They were flying through an area where many ships had gone missing in recent months. The pirates always struck fast and took everything valuable. They never left any survivors to tell what happened. The attacks were getting worse every week. Amy Stone turned around in her chair. Captain, I am picking up strange signals from the asteroid field ahead of us. Jake nodded. What kind of signals? They look like scanner sweeps. Someone is watching us from behind those rocks. Lisa Barnes checked her instruments. I see them too. 3 ships hiding in the asteroid field. They are trying to stay hidden, but our sensors can detect them. Jake smiled a little. This was exactly what they had been waiting for. The pirates thought they had found another easy target. They had no idea what they were really facing. Pete Collins spoke through the radio. From the engine room. Captain, should I prepare the real engines? The hidden ones are ready to go if we need them. Not yet, Jake replied. We need to let them think we are helpless. Keep the fake engines running and make them sound like they are having problems. Rick. Harper moved closer to Jake. The weapon systems are ready. All the hidden guns are loaded and waiting. The crew is in position. Jake looked at his team. They had trained for this moment for months. Each person knew exactly what to do when the pirates attacked. The plan was simple. Let the pirates board the ship and then surprise them with superior weapons and training. The New Dawn continued on its course toward the asteroid field. Jake made sure the ship moved slowly, like it was having engine trouble. Lisa Barnes made the engine spark and smoke a little to make it look more realistic. Any pirate watching would think they had found the perfect victim. Amy Stone listened to the pirate communications. They are talking about us, Captain. They call us soft humans and easy prey. They think we will surrender without a fight. Jake laughed quietly. Let them think that. It will make our job easier. The asteroids grew larger as they approached. Jake could see the pirate ships moving into position. They were sleek and fast with dark metal hulls. Weapons pointed out from every side. The aliens who built these ships were skilled fighters. They had been raiding human cargo ships for many months. Pete Collins made the engines sound worse. Black smoke came out of the exhaust ports. The New Dawn shook a little, as if it might break down at any moment. Jake was proud of his engineer. Pete made it look very convincing. Lisa Barnes spoke softly. The pirates are moving toward us. 3 ships coming from different directions. They want to surround us so we cannot escape. Jake stood up from his chair. "This is it, everyone. Remember the plan. Let them board us. Act scared and helpless. When I give the signal, we show them what humans can really do." Amy Stone put on her best frightened voice and sent a message on the emergency channel. "Help us, please. Our engines are failing. We are just a cargo ship with supplies for the colonies. We have no weapons." The pirate ships moved closer. Jake could see their alien crews through the windows. They looked happy and excited. They thought they had found another easy target. Soon they would learn how wrong they were. Rick Harper whispered to Jake, "The cargo bay doors are ready. When they dock with us, we will be waiting for them." Jake nodded. Everything was going according to plan. The pirates thought they were hunting helpless merchants. They had no idea they were about to walk into a trap set by some of the best soldiers in the human military. The New Dawn continued to drift toward the asteroid field. Jake sat back down in his chair and waited. Soon the pirates would board his ship. Then they would discover what happens when alien pirates target the wrong vessel. The pirate ships surrounded the New Dawn like wolves circling their prey. Jake Morrison watched them on his screen and waited for the right moment. The largest pirate ship moved in close to dock with them. Jake could see the alien captain through the window. He was tall and had dark blue skin with sharp teeth. His eyes glowed red in the darkness. Amy Stone pressed buttons on her communication panel. "Captain, they are jamming our signals. We cannot call for help anymore." Jake nodded. "Good. That means they think we are helpless. Keep acting scared." The pirate ship attached itself to the New Dawn with a loud metal sound. Jake felt the whole ship shake as the aliens connected their docking tube to the cargo bay. Red lights flashed on the control panel showing that the pirates were cutting through the door. Lisa Barnes made her voice sound frightened. "Captain, what should we do? They are coming inside." Jake stood up and looked at his crew. "Remember, everyone, we are just scared cargo ship workers. Let them think they have won." Pete Collins came up from the engine room. He had oil on his hands and looked tired. "The engines are completely dead now, Captain. We cannot run away even if we wanted to." Jake smiled a little. Pete was a good actor. The engines were not really broken. They were just pretending so the pirates would not be suspicious. Rick Harper moved away from the weapon controls. He put his hands up like he was surrendering. "Here they come, Captain." The cargo bay door exploded inward with a bright flash. Smoke filled the air as alien pirates rushed through the opening. They carried energy weapons that glowed with blue light. Their armor was black and covered with sharp spikes. They moved fast and surrounded the human crew. The alien captain stepped forward. His voice was deep and scary. "I am Ziktar of the Crimson Fang clan. Your ship belongs to us now. Surrender, and we might let you live." Jake raised his hands above his head. "Please do not hurt us. We are just carrying medical supplies to the colonies. Take whatever you want." Ziktar laughed and showed his sharp teeth. "You humans are so weak. No wonder it is so easy to raid your ships. You never fight back." The other pirates spread out through the cargo bay. They looked at the boxes of supplies and medical equipment. One of them spoke in their alien language. Jake understood what he was saying because he had studied their language before this mission. The pirate was telling Ziktar that the cargo looked valuable. Amy Stone made her voice shake with fear. "Captain, what are they going to do to us?" Ziktar pointed at Amy with his weapon. "You will be our prisoners. We will sell you to the slave markets on the outer rim. Humans bring good prices there." Jake looked at his crew. They all looked scared, but he could see they were ready to fight. Lisa Barnes was standing near one of the cargo containers. Pete Collins had moved closer to the wall controls. Rick Harper was watching the alien guards. more pirates came through the docking tube. Soon there were 20 aliens in the cargo bay. They all carried weapons and looked confident. They thought they had captured another easy prize. Jake decided. It was time to spring the trap. He looked at Lisa Barnes and gave her a small nod. She pressed a hidden button on the cargo container next to her. The container began to unfold like a metal flower. Inside were military weapons and combat armor. The other containers started opening too. Soon the cargo bay was full of advanced human military equipment. The pirates looked confused. Zektar stepped back and raised his weapon. "What is this?" "What are you doing?" Jake smiled and his voice changed. Now he sounded like the military officer he really was. "We are showing you what happens when you pick the wrong target." Lisa Barnes grabbed a pulse rifle from the nearest container. Pete. Collins pulled on a suit of combat armor. Amy Stone activated the ship's defense systems. Rick Harper drew his sidearm and aimed it at the closest pirate. The aliens tried to react, but they were too slow. The humans moved with perfect coordination. They had practiced this many times. In seconds, the crew of the New Dawn had transformed. From helpless merchants into dangerous soldiers, Jake pulled his own weapon and pointed it at Zektar. "You made a mistake, alien. You thought we were weak because we did not fight back at first. But humans are not weak. We are patient. We set traps for those who hunt us." Zektar fired his weapon, but Jake was already moving. The energy beam missed and hit the wall behind him. Jake rolled behind a container and returned fire. His shot hit the alien captain in the shoulder and knocked him backward. The cargo bay filled with the sound of weapons fire. The pirates tried to fight back, but they were surrounded and outnumbered. The humans used the cargo containers as cover and picked off the aliens one by one. Pete Collins threw a device that made a loud noise and bright light. The pirates could not see or hear for several seconds. During that time, the humans moved to better positions and captured 3 more aliens. Lisa Barnes fired her rifle at 2 pirates who were trying to escape. They fell to the ground and did not get up. Amy Stone used the ship's internal defenses to seal the doors, so no more pirates could enter. The battle was over in less than 5 minutes. Most of the pirates were dead or wounded. Only Zektar and 3 of his warriors were still alive. They were surrounded by human soldiers who looked nothing like the scared cargo workers. They had been pretending to be. Jake walked over to Zektar, who was bleeding from his shoulder wound. "You thought humans were easy prey. You were wrong. We have been hunting you for months. This whole thing was a trap." Zektar looked angry and confused. "This is not possible. Humans are weak. You do not fight like warriors." Jake smiled. "We fight smarter than warriors. We use our brains instead of just our strength. That is why we always win in the end." The alien captain realized he had made a terrible mistake. The human cargo ship was not what it seemed. The crew were not helpless merchants. They were skilled soldiers who had been waiting for pirates to attack them. Rick Harper secured the prisoners while Amy Stone checked for more pirate ships. The first phase of their mission was complete. Now the real work would begin. Zektar sat on the floor of the cargo bay with his hands tied behind his back. Blood dripped from his shoulder wound where Jake had shot him. His 3 surviving warriors sat beside him looking defeated. The alien captain stared at the human crew with hatred in his red eyes. Jake Morrison stood over the prisoners holding his weapon. "You are going to answer some questions for us, Zektar. How many ships do you have? Where is your base?" The alien captain spat on the floor. "I will tell you nothing, human. The Crimson Fang clan will come for me. You cannot defeat all of us." Amy Stone looked up from her communication station. "Captain, I am picking up signals from the pirate ships outside. They are calling for help." Jake nodded. He had expected this. "How many ships are coming?" "At least 12, maybe more. They sound very angry. Pete Collins finished putting on his combat armor. Should we run, Captain? The New Dawn is fast enough to escape. Jake shook his head. No, running would just bring them to our next target. We end this here. Lisa Barnes checked the ship's weapon systems. All guns are ready, Captain. The asteroid field will give us good cover. Rick Harper moved the prisoners to a secure holding area. The defense systems are online. If they try to board us again, they will get a surprise. Jake looked at his crew. They were ready for a real fight. The first battle had been easy because they had surprised the pirates. Now the aliens knew they were facing soldiers instead of merchants. The next fight would be much harder. Amy Stone listened to the alien communications. Captain, they are saying things about revenge and honor. Zektar was important to their clan. They want to make us pay for capturing him. Jake walked over to the communication station. Can you understand what they are planning? They are going to surround us and attack from all sides at once. They think their numbers will overwhelm us. Jake smiled. They still do not understand how humans fight. Numbers are not everything. The New Dawn moved deeper into the asteroid field. Lisa Barnes flew the ship between the large rocks with skill. The asteroids would break up the pirate formation and force them to attack in smaller groups. Pete Collins monitored the engines from his station. The real propulsion system is ready, Captain. We can move 3 times faster than any pirate ship if we need to. Jake looked at the tactical display. Red dots showed the positions of the approaching pirate ships. They were spreading out to surround the asteroid field. Soon they would close in from all directions. Amy, can you jam their communications? Jake asked. Already working on it, Captain. They will not be able to coordinate their attacks very well. The first pirate ship appeared between 2 large asteroids. It was smaller than Zektar's vessel, but heavily armed. Energy beams shot out from its weapons and struck the New Dawn's shields. Barnes rolled the ship to the left and fired back. The human weapons were more accurate than the alien ones. The pirate ship exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the asteroid field. 2 more pirate ships attacked from the right side. Rick Harper controlled the defensive guns and shot them both down before they could get close. The alien ships were fast, but their pilots were not as skilled as the humans. Jake watched the battle on his screen. They are making mistakes. They are attacking alone instead of working together. Amy Stone had disrupted their communications so badly that the pirate ships could not coordinate their attacks. Each captain was trying to win glory by destroying the human ship by himself. Another pirate vessel tried to ram the New Dawn. Pete Collins fired the engines at full power, and the ship shot forward like a bullet. The pirate ship crashed into an asteroid and broke apart. Lisa Barnes flew the New Dawn through a narrow gap between 2 rocks. 3 pirate ships followed her, but they were too big to fit through the space. 2 of them crashed into the asteroids, and the third one had to turn. Back, Captain, more ships are coming, Amy Stone reported. I count 8 more vessels approaching from the outer edge of the field. Jake looked at the tactical display. The pirates were learning from their mistakes. The new ships were staying together and moving more carefully. They would be harder to defeat. Rick Harper fired a missile at a pirate ship that was trying to get behind them. The missile struck the alien vessel in the engine section, and it spun out of control. The ship crashed into a large asteroid and exploded. The battle continued for over an hour. The New Dawn moved through the asteroid field like a ghost. The human crew used the rocks as cover and picked off the pirate ships one by one. Their superior training and equipment gave them a big advantage. Pete Collins reported that the engines were running perfectly. We can keep this up all day, Captain. The pirates are running out of ships. Jake counted the remaining enemy vessels. Only 4 pirate ships were still fighting. The others had been destroyed or had fled when they saw how dangerous the humans were. Lisa Barnes found a good position behind a large asteroid. "Captain, if we wait here, we can ambush the remaining ships when they come around that rock." Jake: "Agreed. Good idea. Rick, get the heavy weapons ready." The last 4 pirate ships approached together. They had finally learned to work as a team, but it was too late. The new dawn was waiting for them with all weapons ready. When the pirates came around the asteroid, they flew right into the human trap. Rick Harper fired everything at once. Energy beams and missiles struck all 4 ships at the same time. 3 of them exploded immediately. The 4th ship was damaged, but still flying. The surviving pirate ship tried to escape, but Lisa Barnes was faster. She chased it through the asteroids and cornered it against a large rock. The alien captain had no choice but to surrender. Amy Stone received a message from the damaged pirate ship. "Captain, they are asking for mercy. They want to surrender." Jake thought about it for a moment. "Tell them to power down their weapons and prepare to be boarded." The battle was over. The new dawn had destroyed or captured an entire pirate fleet. The asteroid field was full of wreckage from the alien ships. Only 1 pirate vessel remained intact. Jake looked at his crew. They had fought well and showed the aliens what human soldiers could do. But he knew this was just the beginning. Word would spread about what happened here. Other pirate clans would learn that humans were not the easy targets they had thought. Rick Harper secured the new prisoners from the surviving ship. "Captain, we now have information about the entire pirate network. These aliens know the locations of all the major bases." Jake smiled. "And our mission is just getting started. We are going to hunt down every pirate in this sector." The new dawn began moving toward the edge of the asteroid field. Behind them, the wreckage of the pirate fleet drifted among the rocks. The aliens had learned a hard lesson about underestimating humans. Amy Stone monitored the communication channels. "Captain, I am picking up chatter from other pirate groups. They are talking about what happened here. Some of them sound scared." Jake nodded. "Good. Fear will make them make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, we will be there to stop them." Zektar sat in his prison cell aboard the new dawn, staring at a small data pad. His red eyes glowed brighter as he read the information on the screen. The device contained files that Rick Harper had recovered from the wreckage of a human merchant ship. What Zektar saw made his blood run cold. The alien captain had always believed that humans were weak, creatures who did not fight back. His people had been attacking human cargo ships for months and had never met any real resistance. The merchants would surrender quickly and beg for their lives. It had been easy hunting, but the datapad told a different story. It contained records of other pirate attacks across the sector. Ship after ship had been destroyed by vessels that looked like harmless cargo haulers. The humans had been setting traps for months. They had been hunting the hunters. Zektar, read about the Ghost Fleet. It was a secret human military unit that used fake cargo ships to lure pirates into ambushes. The New Dawn was just one of dozens of such vessels. Each one was filled with highly trained soldiers and advanced weapons. The alien captain realized that his people had been walking into a carefully planned trap. The humans were not passive victims. They were predators who had been studying pirate tactics and learning how to defeat them. Jake Morrison walked into the holding area where the prisoners were kept. He looked at Zektar, who was still reading the datapad. "Learning something interesting?" Zektar looked up with hatred in his eyes. "You have been hunting us from the beginning." "This was all planned," Jake nodded. "Every attack, every captured ship, every dead pirate. We have been watching you for months. We know how you think and how you fight." "Your people seem so weak," Zektar said. "You never fought back. You just surrendered and begged for mercy." Jake sat down across from the alien captain. That was the point. We wanted you to think we were helpless. It made you careless and predictable. Zektar threw the datapad on the floor. How many ships like this one do you have? Enough, Jake replied. Every major shipping route has at least one Ghost Fleet vessel. We have been clearing out pirate nests across the entire sector. The alien captain felt fear for the first time in many years. His people had thought they were the apex predators in this part of space. Now he learned that they were actually being hunted by creatures who were smarter and more dangerous than they had imagined. On the bridge, Amy Stone was monitoring communications from across the sector. The news of the battle at the asteroid field was spreading quickly. Pirate clans were talking about the strange human ship that had destroyed an entire fleet. "Captain," Amy called to Jake when he returned to the bridge, "I am picking up some interesting chatter from the pirate networks." Jake looked at the communication logs on Amy's screen. Messages were flying between different pirate groups. Some were angry and wanted revenge. Others were scared and talking about avoiding human ships completely. Lisa Barnes was flying the New Dawn toward the next system on their patrol route. "Captain, we are getting reports from other Ghost Fleet ships. They are having similar encounters all across the sector." Jake studied the tactical reports. Human ships were engaging pirates everywhere. The carefully planned operation was working perfectly. The aliens were being systematically eliminated. Pete Collins came up from the engine room with a concerned expression. "Captain, we might have a problem. The pirates are starting to share information about our ships." Jake looked at the intelligence reports. The surviving pirates were beginning to recognize the signs of a Ghost Fleet vessel. They were learning to avoid ships that looked too much like easy targets. Rick Harper joined the conversation. "The prisoners have been talking to each other. They are planning to send a warning message to all the pirate clans." Jake thought about this development. If the pirates became too cautious, they would be harder to catch. The Ghost Fleet operations depended on the aliens thinking they were attacking helpless merchants. Amy Stone intercepted a transmission from a pirate base in the next system. "Captain, you need to hear this. Zektar's clan is calling for a meeting of all the major pirate groups." Jake listened to the alien communication. The pirates were planning to unite against the human threat. They wanted to pool their resources and launch a coordinated attack on human shipping. "They are scared," Lisa Barnes observed. "They know they cannot fight us alone, so they are trying to work together." Jake nodded. Fear makes people do dangerous things. If all the pirate clans unite, they will be much harder to defeat. The New Dawn received a priority message from Ghost Fleet Command. Other human ships were reporting the same thing. The pirates were organizing and sharing information about human tactics. Pete Collins checked the ship's weapon systems. "Captain, if they all attack at once, we might be outnumbered. Even with our superior technology, there are limits to what we can do." Jake looked at his crew. They had been very successful so far, but the situation was changing. The pirates were adapting to human tactics faster than expected. Rick Harper studied the intelligence reports. "The aliens are learning that our cargo ships are not what they seem. They are developing new methods to identify Ghost Fleet vessels." Amy Stone received another message from a different pirate group. "Captain, they are talking about attacking human colonies directly. They want to force us to spread our forces thin." Jake realized that the pirates were smarter than he had given them credit for. They were not just random raiders. They were capable of strategic thinking when faced with a serious threat. The New Dawn approached the edge of the system where they had defeated Zektar's fleet. Jake could see the wreckage of the pirate ships still floating among the asteroids. But instead of feeling victorious, he felt concerned about what would happen next. Lisa Barnes detected multiple ships approaching from different directions. "Captain, I am reading at least 20 vessels converging on our position. They are not flying in the usual pirate formation. Jake looked at the tactical display. The approaching ships were moving in a coordinated pattern. They had learned from the mistakes of the previous attack. Amy Stone analyzed the communication signals. "Captain, these are not random pirate groups. They are working together. Someone is coordinating their movements." Jake realized that the pirates had found a leader who understood how to fight humans. They were no longer acting like individual raiders. They were becoming an organized military force. Pete Collins powered up the ship's advanced defense systems. "Captain, we are about to face a much more dangerous enemy. These aliens have learned from their defeats." Jake looked at his crew. The easy victories were over. The pirates had discovered that humans were not the weak prey they had thought. Now they were adapting and preparing for a real war. The new dawn prepared for battle as the united pirate fleet approached. This fight would be different from all the others. The aliens were no longer underestimating their human opponents. Jake knew that this battle would determine the future of human space. If the pirates won, they would spread the word that humans could be defeated. If the humans won, they would prove that Earth's children were not to be trifled with. The real test was about to begin. The asteroid base called Crimson Rock had been the pirates' strongest fortress for over 10 years. Hidden deep in a field of floating rocks, it housed thousands of alien raiders from dozens of different clans. The base had massive weapons and thick armor plating. No one had ever successfully attacked it. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the New Dawn and looked at the tactical display. 12 other Ghost Fleet ships had joined them for this final assault. Each vessel was disguised as a different type of cargo hauler, but all carried the same deadly secret. The human fleet was ready to end the pirate threat once and for all. Amy Stone monitored the communications from the asteroid base. "Captain, they know we are coming. Zektar managed to send a warning message before we captured him." Jake nodded. He had expected this. The alien captain had been clever enough to prepare his people for the human attack. This would not be another easy ambush. Lisa Barnes flew the New Dawn through the outer edge of the asteroid field. Behind them, the other Ghost Fleet ships spread out in a wide formation. They moved slowly and carefully, using the rocks as cover. Pete Collins checked the ship's weapons one more time. "All systems ready, Captain. The new plasma cannons are charged and waiting." Jake looked at his crew. They had come a long way from the first encounter with Zektar's boarding party. Now they were about to face the largest pirate stronghold in the sector. Rick Harper coordinated with the other Ghost Fleet ships. "Captain, all vessels report ready. We have enough firepower to crack that asteroid open." The first wave of pirate ships emerged from the base like angry wasps. They were better organized than before and flew in tight formations. The aliens had learned from their previous defeats. Jake gave the order to attack. "All ships, begin the assault. Show them what happens when you threaten human space." The battle began with a massive exchange of weapons fire. The pirate ships fought with desperate courage, knowing that this was their last chance to defeat the humans. Energy beams and missiles filled the space between the asteroids. Lisa Barnes rolled the New Dawn between two large rocks and fired at a group of pirate fighters. The human weapons were more accurate and powerful than the alien ones. 3 enemy ships exploded in bright flashes of light. Amy Stone jammed the pirate communications, while Pete Collins kept the engines running at maximum power. The New Dawn moved through the battlefield like a deadly predator, striking fast and then disappearing behind cover. Other Ghost Fleet ships engaged the main pirate fleet. The humans used superior tactics and coordination to outfight the aliens. Even though the pirates had more ships, they could not match the skill and discipline of the human crews. Rick Harper targeted the asteroid base's defense systems. The massive weapons that protected Crimson Rock were powerful but slow. The human ships were too fast and agile for the heavy guns to hit. Jake watched as the pirate fleet began to break apart. The aliens were brave fighters, but they had never faced an enemy like this before. The humans fought with cold efficiency, destroying ship after ship without mercy. The New Dawn led a group of ghost fleet vessels directly toward the asteroid base. The pirates had built their fortress to withstand attacks from other pirate clans, but they had never imagined facing human military technology. Lisa Barnes found a weak spot in the base's defenses. "Captain, there is a docking bay on the lower level. If we can get inside, we can attack from within." Jake made the decision quickly. "Take us in. All ships, follow us into the base." The New Dawn shot through the asteroid field at full speed. Behind them, the other Ghost Fleet ships followed in single file. The pirates tried to stop them, but the humans were too fast. The small fleet entered the docking bay of Crimson Rock like arrows piercing a target. The pirates inside the base were not ready for a direct assault. They scrambled to organize a defense, but it was too late. Jake led his crew off the New Dawn and into the base. They wore full combat armor and carried the most advanced weapons in the human military. The corridors of Crimson Rock filled with the sound of battle. Pete Collins used explosives to clear blocked passages while Amy Stone hacked into the base's computer systems. Lisa Barnes and Rick Harper fought alongside Marines from the other ships, pushing deeper into the asteroid fortress. The pirates defended their base with everything they had. They knew that if Crimson Rock fell, their reign of terror would be over. But the humans were unstoppable. They moved through the base like a force of nature, destroying everything in their path. Jake found Zektar in the main command center. The alien captain had escaped from the New Dawn during the confusion of the battle. He stood behind a control panel with a weapon in his hands. "You have destroyed everything," Zektar said with hatred in his voice. "My people, my ships, my home. What more do you want?" Jake kept his weapon pointed at the alien captain. "We want you to understand something. Humans are not weak. We are not easy prey. We are dangerous when threatened." Zektar laughed bitterly. "I see that now. But why did you pretend to be helpless? Why did you not show your strength from the beginning?" Jake thought about the question. "Because we hoped you would leave us alone. We did not want to fight you. But when you kept attacking our people, we had no choice." The alien captain looked around at his ruined command center. "You could have destroyed us all months ago. Why did you wait?" "We wanted to give you a chance to stop," Jake replied. "We hoped you would learn that raiding human ships was not worth the cost. But you did not listen." Zektar dropped his weapon and sat down heavily. "We thought you were like the other races we had encountered, weak and divided. We did not know that humans could be so patient and so deadly." Jake lowered his own weapon. "Now you know. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge?" The alien captain looked at Jake with new respect. "I will tell my people that humans are not to be attacked. I will spread the word to every pirate clan in the galaxy." Jake nodded. "That is all we wanted. We do not seek to conquer or destroy. We just want to be left in peace." The battle for Crimson Rock was over. The pirate base was captured and their fleet was destroyed. But more importantly, the surviving aliens had learned that humans were not the helpless victims they had thought. Word of the human victory spread quickly through the galaxy. Other alien civilizations heard about the Ghost Fleet and the fall of Crimson Rock. They began to view humanity with new respect and caution. The New Dawn resumed its patrol of the shipping lanes, but now it rarely encountered pirates. The aliens had learned their lesson and stayed away from human space. Jake stood on the bridge and watched the stars pass by. His crew worked quietly around him, monitoring the communications and watching for threats. But the threats were fewer now. Amy Stone looked up from her station. Captain, I am receiving messages from alien governments. They want to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth. Jake smiled. It took a war to earn their respect, but we finally have it. The New Dawn continued on its course through the peaceful void. Behind them, human space was safe from pirate attacks. The aliens had learned what happens when they target the wrong vessel. The crew of the New Dawn had shown the galaxy that humans were not weak or helpless. They were patient, intelligent, and deadly when threatened. It was a lesson that